Imagine a war so vast, it involved over 30 nations and led to the death of over 17 million people. This, dear listeners, was the reality of World War I, a conflict that forever altered the course of human history. The seeds of this devastating conflict were sown in the early 20th century. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary on June 28, 1914, set into motion a domino effect of alliances and ultimatums. This event, a single bullet fired by a Bosnian Serb nationalist named Gavrilo Princip, ignited the powder keg that was Europe at the time. In the wake of the assassination, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia, pulling in Russia due to their agreement to protect the Slavic nations. Soon, Germany, allied with Austria-Hungary, declared war on Russia, and the wheels of conflict began to turn at an alarming rate. France, bound by treaty to Russia, found itself at war with Germany, and by extension, Austria-Hungary. When Germany invaded neutral Belgium to outflank the French army, Britain declared war on Germany. Suddenly, a war that began as a regional conflict had escalated into a full-scale global war. The war was fought on multiple fronts, but the most infamous was the Western Front, characterized by trench warfare. Soldiers lived in narrow, muddy trenches for years, facing not just the enemy, but disease, hypothermia, and the mental strain of constant warfare. Meanwhile, on the Eastern Front, the war was more mobile, yet just as deadly. It was here that the Central Powers of Germany and Austria-Hungary fought against the Russian Empire, leading to a war of attrition that neither side could afford. In the midst of all this, the United States initially maintained a policy of neutrality. However, after repeated attacks on its ships by German submarines, and the discovery of the Zimmermann telegram, in which Germany promised to help Mexico regain lost territories in the US, America entered the war in April 1917. The tide of the war began to shift. The Central Powers were struggling, while the Allies, rejuvenated by American involvement, pushed forward. By November 1918, Germany was on the brink of collapse. On the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, an armistice was signed, marking the end of World War I. In the aftermath of the war, treaties were signed, borders were redrawn, and empires crumbled. The war left a long-lasting impact on the world, setting the stage for World War II and shaping the modern world as we know it. To summarize, World War I was a global conflict that began with the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand and was characterized by trench warfare, the involvement of over 30 nations, and the death of over 17 million people. Its aftermath led to significant geopolitical changes and set the stage for future conflicts. This war, with all its horrors and complexities, serves as a stark reminder of the costs of global conflict and the importance of diplomacy and peace.